Well, that was rubbish. Yeah, qualifying in race 1, pretty poor. Qualifying, I thought actually was going to be alright after getting out of the kart. Managed to lead a group and was pulling away from them, but then turned out that I was actually considerably slower, so don't know what happened there. And then, yeah, you just saw what happened in race 1, just consistently going backwards and just generally poor all round. So we'll jump ahead to race number 2, and this one was much better. Although it probably isn't difficult to have a performance much better than the last one, seeing as that was so poor. So going up into Christmas, welcome to Whilton Mill, by the way. A little bit conservative, but it actually ends up paying off, seeing as these three sit nice and cosy, and sort of scoot around the outside, a couple of them, but one of them ended up able to stay on my inside. So going down to Ashby, couldn't really do much apart from try to hang it around the outside, which wasn't going to work. So tuck in behind our friend here, give him a little bump, and then maybe could have been a bit more aggressive going through the left-hander, but we're sort of settled down now and get a reasonably good drive off of Osiers, but all kinds of nonsense going down the back straight. Have an opportunity to throw it up the inside here, which we take, and carry some good momentum then around the outside. Someone having a bad day, facing the wrong way, and going through pit bend, final corner, we end up getting nudged wide a little bit, but all in all, not a bad first lap. Made a couple of places up there. Although having said that, we end up running side by side through Crook, and then on the way up to Christmas again, couldn't get on the inside. We had two people on this side, but we carry our speed around one of them and only end up losing the one position. Get a better drive off, so this is probably signs of things to come. Going down, able to get a good one off the left-hander, throw it down the inside of Osiers, and job done. Let's just keep moving forward at this point, is what we were thinking to ourselves, myself. Rather, let's not talk about ourselves in the third person, that's a little bit weird. And that was probably my favourite move of the day, not that in particular one, but I was able to get a few people going into the first right-hander of the boot, and we seem to be able to carry some good speed around that left-hander. Jumping forwards a little bit, back up into Christmas, people in front starting to get a little bit fighty, so that slows them down, gives us a chance to go around increments for a nice easy move. Didn't really have to do anything there, so take those as they come. Jump forward again, and we've got a good toe going down into the first part of the boot, and tried to carry it around the outside, but there's nothing really there, so we tuck in. It all gets a little bit close, a little bit slow, but we take one up the inside of the second right, and then the second one going around the last corner. A little bit of a clip of the inside once the curb, but got away with it, but we did lose the toe. Jumping forward a little bit again, and our mate in the orange helmet does us a favour by giving us two positions there, but we end up getting a bit of a rubbish drive off, so we gain two, and then going down towards the boot we end up losing one, so net gain of one overall, which isn't the end of the world, and end up with quite a big gap between the two of us here and then the group in front, so it's kind of get our heads down and see if we can make it up.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So during that time, we were going so fast that the camera ended up deciding to lean backwards and just film the sky. So we sort that out, and now we can get on with actually filming the race, which is nice, good means I can show you. And matey boy in front of us goes to the move up to Christmas, good move, nice and clean. We try to follow through and get caught on the outside going through kink, and then Inkman's was a bit of a wish, I think. End up having to back out of that one. Skidding forward again, going towards the boot, starting to get a little bit close. We've got a move going up the inside, a little bit of contact, slows them both down, and that means that we end up being able to get up the inside of one, but not two this time. So just the one going through pit and securing that off. So in race 2 we seemed to have a lot more pace, which gave us the opportunity to be in the right place at the right time to pick up the pieces. So as our two buddies there decided to go grass cutting, we can pick off one that ended up losing the momentum and then tuck back in this group. And a lot of hard racing going on in this group, so it's a case of trying to get through it as cleanly as possible and not get caught up in too many prolonged battles and losing time that way. another moment here where we seem to be able to benefit from other people's mistakes. So not the best place to be facing the wrong way around. I can imagine that's a little bit scary as people are coming full throttle going into pit bend, but everyone manages to avoid and everyone gets away safely, which is always good. And now coming down into boot, we've got enough of a gap where we can carry some really good momentum going around the left, which means we can sneak out the inside, get one position, get another position from a battle that happened in front of us, and then another kart going slowly, which we can get down the inside of. A little bit of contact going through there. Wasn't quite expecting kart in front there to slow down quite as much, but no harm, no foul. And at this point, let's see if we can drive away. Now this time going down into Rosie's, make a mistake, and unfortunate because it's a corner that I was taking quite well over the course of the weekend, but allows one kart to go out the inside there, and then the loss of momentum nearly gets us pinched going into the boot, but sort of back out, live to fight another day, and managed to get one of them back coming through the right hand of the boot and going into pit bend. So not the greatest exchange of corners, but damage limitation. Now we skip ahead here to the last half of the penultimate lap, and our mate in the white helmet in front, I'm not sure if he made a mistake or maybe subject to a bit of contact and ended up on the grass, but definitely ended up going slowly either way through that last complex, and that allows us to get up onto the back of him. So as we come on to the final lap here, we can see going past the start-finish gantry, final lap there in the top right hand corner, and we get a good run through the first two corners. We were strong there all weekend, but I think not quite enough top end to be able to get a slingshot in this toe, and we go for a little bit of a desperate move, seeing as it was the last lap into Christmas, but it wasn't quite there. Make contact and just need to make sure that we didn't end up having a big crash. So let him get back in front, gave him the position back, because after all we want to be nice and sporting, don't want to take people out and take the position if we can help it. And that contact meant that we lost the momentum and weren't going to have another chance for the rest of the lap, so kind of had to defend for the rest of the final lap to make sure that we solidified the progress that we had made during the course of the race, which was much better than qualifying and race one, that's for sure. So all in all, not a bad end to the day considering how rubbish race 1 and 2 were. But might not have been the perfect return to Whilton Mill this time that I was hoping for, but it was still a good fun day. It was lovely to be back in the car, and it's not long to wait this time until going back to Bayford Meadows where we had our first taste of Club 100, and hopefully get a good result there like last time, maybe even better, and use the experience from today to get better as well. So until next time, hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks a lot for watching, and until I see you again, have a good one.
Three days later.
Mm.